Hey yo, what's good YouTube? Cardfight King here, Aqua Life baby. Alright, so I actually have it's not even a battle 10. This is just more of a quick video on my man Wheel Assault here. Now, people I know some people are like, oh, he's not that good, but here's the thing. I mean, 7K boosters are just the norm of these days. They're not bad boosters. They're actually pretty fantastic sometimes. And a lot of people are on the 8K vanilla, but I want my deck to be more flexible, have a lot more utility with the deck, being able to do more things. And running 4 copies of him allows my deck to do more things when I need to. Now, I very rarely, like, I've maybe used this in 1 or 2 tournaments, and probably just 1 or 2 games in those tournaments. But pretty much what he does is, after he boosts an Aqua Force unit, I can counterblast 1, and then I can swap any 2 Aqua Forces, obviously not the Vanguard, but any 2 Aqua Force rear guards in the field, I can swap their positions, which allows me for a flexibility play, an extra attack. At the cost of a counterblast, I get an extra attack in. So he's really good in that aspect, and he's a nice 7K booster. Now, why don't you use him too often? Because at least in Tetra Drive, if you're using him in Maelstrom, go right ahead. In Maelstrom, he's really good because you have more counterblast usage space, because people don't usually let Maelstrom hit because of his effect. They don't want you to go +2. So with Wheel Assault in Tetra Drive needs 2 open counterblasts, and let's say you use his effect during Tetra Drive's thing. Pretty much you paid a total of 3 counterblasts just to restand Tetra Drive, which can be pretty devastating, because then you won't be able to you'll only be able to use his effect another time, unless you have healed, found a way, use the crit trigger to unflip some damage and things like that. And I don't usually use a crit trigger to unflip damage unless I'm making a push for game. I've tried using it early on before like that, and all it's done is cost me in the end. All it's done, it put me in a position where I'm like, shoot, I wish I had a 10K shield in my hand to block this attack right now. I wish I didn't reach for that at that point. So, please, just use his effect sparingly. I explained his uses in another video, maybe, but please use his effect sparingly. Don't, in Tetra Drive at least, just don't over abuse it, because you'll find yourself out of counterblast and ultimately out of hand if you're using the crit trigger to unflip damage. But please, just use it sparingly. He's a great card, has a lot of flexibility, but can cost you huge when it comes late in the game, and I would just say use him as an emergency switcher if possible. Alright, but that's what I just gotta say about him. This has been the Cardfight King, and I am out. Aqua Life, baby!